Susan Sarandon once said, "Children reinvent the world for you." Good day, beautiful soul. Matt here. Welcome to another session on Intention Inspired. Right now we're going through The Art of Self-Discovery. It is a journey created by our wonderful Marva Midkiff over in the art room, and it is all about illuminating our beauty within. Today we are going through segment 5 of this 8-segment journey, and segment 5 is all about the child within. So to access subconscious information about the people of our past, today we call on our inner child. There is a clear distinction between our perceptions of the past and our child within. It is understood that the past is behind us, but our child within, our inner child, even our inner teen, shape who we are as our integrated self in this moment. The child that lives within, they have their own values, their own perceptions, and ways of processing experiences, and just a longing to live life fully. And we are the witness to their presence when we act or react to experiences in the present with the consciousness of who we once were. We can honor the presence of our inner child by allowing their voice to be heard. When our child feels heard, safe, and loved, it does not feel the need to act out or demand our attention. When we befriend our inner child, we clearly see the spontaneity, the curiosity, and just the sheer beauty that our child provides. And if we ignore that child or resisted their presence, we may be experiencing tantrums that are just kind of difficult. So, in today's session, we're going to expand our understanding of childhood, perceptions, and belief through our 6 inspirations. We'll start with a pause, speak an intentional affirmation, soak up some beauty, and then the meat of it are journal prompts, followed by some reflection and a prompt to create. So, grab your snorkel, let's dive in. Starting with our sacred pause. During moments of pause today, let's identify the ways that our inner child and inner teenager show up in our present moments. Maybe as you pause to watch the crows flying around, or watch the way that the trees dance in the wind. Perhaps noticing throughout the day how certain people, places, or things can cause a tantrum or reaction, internally or externally. Noticing what situations make you feel unheard, unsafe, or unloved. As we take intentional time to pause throughout the day, we're just going to document these observations without attempting to change anything. Just as there cannot be a rule book for perfect parenting, there's also little advantage to just judging how our inner child behaves. So, as change comes, we observe it, and we discover ourselves as we learn to accept all the facets of who we are and become the, quote, perfect parent for ourselves. Feel free to repeat today's intention after me. My inner child longs to live life fully. I allow their voice to be heard and act accordingly. Moving into our beautification exercise as we recall our favorite places. What are your inner child's favorite places? These are the places where our inner child just gets naturally curious and imaginative, and spontaneity flies freely. Places where if you are in your grown-up body, you feel your inner child within you. For many of us, that's maybe like outside in nature. So whatever that place is, take yourself to that place. Maybe it's a place in nature, and allow your inner child to play. This is our beautification exercise this week, to make a point to do that and just see how it feels to make a leaf mandala or a stone tower or to hunt for a 4-leaf clover. Finding and exploring the beauty in nature, just noticing how our inner child comes to life. Okay, I hope you have your journal handy. We have some juicy journal prompts. And as always, within this journey, these are sentence completion journal prompts. So if you're just listening to this, say in a car or a place where you cannot journal, notice your internal dialogue and how you naturally complete these sentences. Otherwise, if you can, feel free to pause between each sentence and free flow, stream of consciousness style, just journal, complete each one. Feel free to complete each sentence multiple times. We're noticing that the more we can answer each question, the deeper we can get into the subconscious, and some really beautiful, insightful things can begin to surface once we kind of get through the surface level stuff. So, when we accept and allow our child self and our teen self into our integrated self, we have access to valuable and amazing information. Our goal here is just to allow their voices to be heard by bypassing our conditioned mind. So begin by bringing yourself fully into this moment with 3 long, slow breaths. Deep breath in and relax it out. Another deep breath into your belly, expanding, and relax it out. One more really deep breath all the way to the top. Maybe hold for a moment. And release. Now, calling upon your inner child, finish these following sentences. If my inner child could speak, it would say, "When I was 5 years old, when I was 10 years old, when I was very young, the world seemed..." When I was very young, people seemed if my inner child feels ignored, if my inner child feels criticized, one of the ways my inner child gets me into trouble is if I fully accept that child as a valuable part of me. Sometimes the hardest thing about fully accepting the child within is if I were listening to what my inner child needs to tell me, I am becoming aware that and lastly, when I look at myself from this perspective, nice. Thanks for following me through. So let's reflect on those journal prompts. Maybe if you wrote them down, we can start by reading over your sentences again without judgment. And if other endings occur to you, feel free to add to them and just document those. And just spend some additional time writing about who your inner child is, how you feel about them, and the impact that they have on your present moment. Feel free to use your imagination to describe the best ways to nurture that facet of your being. Today, our invitation to create is to invite your inner child to create with abandon. Be brave. Play hard. Just enjoy whatever it is your inner child wants to enjoy and see what happens. Thank you so much for joining me on today's intentional session on connecting with our child within. It's beautiful work. And if you have anything to share with us, we would be delighted to know what's going on as you connect with your inner child, as you continue to unpack and create the work of art that is your life. So beautiful. We have a private activity feed where we're sharing our comments, our photos, our creations, our musings, just so we can check in and see what's going on with one another. And we would be delighted to have you over on our online community platform. There's a link for that in the comments or wherever you're listening to this, the description, wherever. Alrighty. So next week, we're going to explore feelings and emotions, and how our feelings and emotions are just the cream of the crop when it comes to our creative palette for knowing who we are, and joyously creating the life of our dreams. So I so look forward to that. Until then, enjoy connecting with your child within, with creating with abandon, and savoring and enjoying your play. See you next week. Peace and love.